Hi, friends. Okay, I'm not even in this.
Did you miss? Hey, you have to fix this when you sit down.
Yeah, I did miss that.
She's like, I'm not even in this. Nope.
It's my show now.
Perfect. No, we have to.
This one's like,
This group's like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
don't get the joke.
Actually, you can see a little bit of our like wannabe special guest, the boss. She did a drive by and on YouTube, so live people. Nobody. You have to go to YouTube to see. Oh no! You know what it is? You know what that was? That was like that Austin Powers when he grabs her hand, grabs another hand, and another hand comes out smacks. Forget it.
I'll watch it one day.
Yeah, one day.
How's your week?
A week. I got done. We're supposed to have this Arctic blast coming.
It's not gonna be a fun blast.
What are you planning to do for the weekend? Just staying underneath covers and trying to stay warm.
No, I'm gonna go see Annie with my mom.
Oh yeah. What day? Saturday?
Saturday.
It's supposed to be cold.
I know. Can't wait.
You'd be like, hey Annie, how you doing? It's supposed to be like 30 below with the wind chill.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I am
Is there game night this
hopefully
week?
drooling on myself. What? I am doing nothing all weekend.
Nothing?
Nothing. No lives, no nothing.
Sorry, Shannon, you're nothing.
I'm doing nothing with the boss, obviously. Well, we have some exciting news for the boutique. We've officially been accepted to the Bow Sirens. So we have a home now. Remember I said we were homeless?
Yep.
We actually have a home now.
Congratulations.
It was on me. It's my popularity. Everyone can see my talents.
Is that what you call them?
Yeah, well, who knows? Anything exciting at work lately? Nothing?
At work? No.
No, I was excited at work. Just trying to get through the day.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So what's our topic? What are we going to talk about today? Anything to...
I looked up funny
yeah.
lawyer stories, so like things that happen in the courtroom.
Right.
Like either things that people said or like the cases themselves or like stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember, like, I don't even know. I hope this is not one of them because I don't know, but do you remember that thing that the lady sued CVS?
No.
Yeah, she sued CVS. I remember this because I had to be like just out of high school, maybe, or so 95, 96, 97, like somewhere in that late 90s. I don't know. Do you remember this? She sued because she used sperm jelly.
Yes.
Oh yes, you did tell me this like multiple times on the podcast.
Yeah, and she landed up suing because she ate it.
Yeah.
In case not everyone, so they ended up eating it instead of putting it where you're supposed to put it.
Right.
And she said that because it was next to the food aisle, and she actually won, and CVS had to change their whole thing. I also heard a case on TV, which they won, and my brain blew up. They went to go see a cover band of the Temptations.
Okay.
Do you know who the Temptations is? Okay,
yeah.
So it's a cover band.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mother and daughter went to go watch, and a husband and wife were sitting in front of them.
Just another group?
Just not. Okay. Then don't know each other. Okay. Just a husband and wife sitting. Well, the husband kept standing up to dance because.
Yeah.
I've only been to one concert in my life, and I felt like that one concert, I stood up the whole time. Like I didn't even.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Well, the mother complained she couldn't see the show because the husband was standing up the whole time. So he switched seats with his wife, who wasn't standing. Mm-hmm. So the daughter sued them and won for tickets, for the trip there, for gas, like the whole trip.
Sued that couple or sued?
Yes, sued that whole couple because they stood.
How do they know their names?
Because he kept asking them, you need to sit down, you need to sit down, and they sued him. and they won. And I was just like,
was that your jaw?
I don't even know. No, it was a can that popped.
Jesus.
She was like, I'm going to drink now.
Well, my mom's jaw like cracks like that.
Really?
So I didn't know if that was her jaw. Like hurts my jaw.
Well, it wasn't, so it shouldn't be hurting.
I know, but
yes, they sued. They got sued and won. The whole, because they were standing up there. I'm like, who sits during a concert? Like, I've only been to one, so I'm not trying to say like but every time I see concert on TV.
My ex-husband, we went to a Nelly concert, and Nelly was the main one on the concert when he was there.
Wait a minute. Nelly was the main concert when you went to go see
it. No, he was the main one. Like Ashanti was there. There was all. He was the main act, and my ex-husband was sitting down, and he throughout the whole thing, and these two girls tripped and fell right in his lap. When he was sitting there, it's like, how do you sit there? Like, how do you?
Because hopefully 2 girls are going to fall in my lap. That's why I'm going to sit from now on.
Why are we complaining?
Next lap. We're going to a concert. Did you say we were going to a concert this year?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to my second concert. The same band that I saw the first time. I'm going to see again.
Nickelback?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm hoping hopefully I'll have 2 young girls trip and fall into my lap.
You see Niles' leg out?
My leg out? I'm like,
oh, sorry. I can't bend it, you know?
It's stiff for a reason.
Sorry, my leg just cramp.
Oh my God, Charlie horse! Oh my God!
Sorry
Can you
about
rub this for me? A little higher.
No, my other leg.
just switch over. Keep going. Just don't stop. Just go right around. Make the full circle.
Make the full.
Do the full horseshoe.
It's the cul-de-sac.
The only thing I will say is she talked about because we got on concerts. Here we go. We're talking about something totally opposite. She went to a game where a guy spilled beer on her, and I was like, if I was, because she went with her ex-husband, and I was like, I was your husband, I would have turned to go around and be like, next drop that lands on my wife, I'm gonna knock you out.
That happened to me. There was a fight like near us, and we were in the pit. And
well, where were we? Wait a minute, where were we? Definitely not a game.
No, it was a concert.
Yeah. You have to see what the Knicks.
House of Blues.
The what?
House of Blues. And
yeah. I know. Yep.
But there was like a fight happening, and somebody like poured like through the beer at someone, but they like moved out of the way, and I was there. I'm like, what the fuck? Kelsey like almost after. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's like the fucking concert.
I told you about the very first girl fight I ever got.
No.
Very first. I was in high school, freshman year. I was so excited, because I was a big freshman. I've been waiting forever for this, and I had about 3 seniors that always seemed to grab me. That was that big thing. Like, you need to see this. Like, and they grabbed me. Now you got to see this girl fight. And I was like, all right, what's so cool about girl fight? They're like, normally no one stays with their clothes on. Like, you need to watch this. Like, so as we all do, we make a circle and the fight's in the middle.
Yeah.
And they kind of pushed me up because I was short, and I still am short, so I probably still get pushed in the middle, right? So I'm pushed right in the front row, and I'm watching these 2 girls, which I knew one of them, and they're beating the crap out of each other. One's bleeding, and one shirt gets ripped off, and now like stuff is hanging out, and their bras getting ripped off, and all of a sudden a teacher comes, and then all of a sudden this one of the girls I didn't know went to go punch the girl I did know, and the girl I did know ducked, and the girl punched me. And I was knocked out on the freaking, because I was like, I was like, knocked me right out, hit me right in the face, like, because I was so not ready for it.
Right.
Like, I wasn't in a fight, so it was like, yeah, boop. I like hit the ground, and the best part of that story is the girl who knocked me out asked me out to the freshman semi-formal, and of course I said yes. I was too scared to say no.
I don't blame you.
And that's the one where my dad drives up, and she's in this really, really little mini skirt smoking a cigarette, flicking it with red lipstick, and my dad said, "Oh, you're gonna have fun tonight."
Did you?
No, she ended up meeting this other guy and take off, and I didn't even care. I was so scared of her. I was just like, "You want to dance? Yes." "You want to get a punch?" "Yes." She probably went like, "You want to kiss me?" "Yes." I was like, there was no no's. I was like, all night there was no no's. If I had to dress up like a horse and do whatever, I would have that night.
Oh my god. Yeah,
and I remember getting in the car and my dad's like, "Where's your date?" And I was like, "She left with somebody else." He was like, "Better off." My dad was like, "Better off." I was like, whew. Like, you don't even know when I dodged that. That's a girl that punched me.
A girl hit you?
Oh yeah, I got beat up tons by girls. That was my worst enemy. When we were at the right by the playground, where you know where the Portsmouth playground. I used to live in the house, not right next to it, the one right there. A girl used to get off the bus and rip my shirt and beat the hell out of me, and so everyone would cheer in the bus as they watched me get my ass kicked. And one time I got old enough that I was like, enough's enough, and I went to go fight back. We were rolling into Turnpike. The only difference was Turnpike didn't have the highway, so it wasn't very busy. Yeah. But somebody called my mom, like, "You need to come out. I won't say her name, is like beating up Niles in the middle of Turnpike."
Oh my god.
Here's my mom, so she can verify it. All my stories.
Goddamn time.
That and the story of there was a girl who I used to wear button downs all the time because I like button down shirts. Where she'd rip my shirt so the buttons would fall off, like pop off. Mm-hmm. And I come home and my mom's like, "You gotta do something. You just can't let this girl just." I'm like, "Mom, it's a girl," and she's like, "I'm gonna put a brick in your backpack. You just swing it at her." I was like, "Mom, I can't."
I totally see it.
My mom's like, "You need to stop this because this is costing too much." Because they were like nice, like dress shirts, and she's like, "Pop, pop, pop."
Your mom every night.
She was like, "I'll put a brick in there and you swing it as hard as you can, and whatever you hit, and you just run." Every day on the bus. Pop, pop,
I still love you.
I was like, "Mom, I can't do that. She's a girl." Because,
So how did it stop? You threw the brick at her?
I threw the shirt and ran. I would just take it off.
Better idea.
I just threw the shirt.
You yourself?
You
just ripped the buttons yourself.
They were polo shirts. Yeah, they were all really nice polo shirts, and they were button downs. Yeah, I mean they weren't cheap. So yeah, but she every day. Bop, 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 bop. I mean, she would just grab me, and I wouldn't be like I would always catch me off guard, and
so
even
how did it stop?
I think I'd be honest with you. I think
too many shirts.
I actually think that's the one I was rolling around in Turnpike, beating the hell out of, because we got to a point where we were fighting. Like we actually it was like my mom's like, "You got to do something."
So why didn't you just like not wear a button down?
Oh, because that's all I wore when I was a kid. That's all I don't know. I was very I got stuck on. Well, I still am, but I get stuck on clothes like that I like, and it's like I'll wear those to death. Like I love button down long and always long sleeve, no matter what. It could be like 100 degrees and long sleeve. Like I don't know for those shirts, and then I would have other shirts that were like short sleeve polo shirt, but they were. I just said polo shirt twice, but you know what I'm saying. Like
there are polo shirts that were like polo shirts. That polo.
Like the shirt kind. The pullover polo shirts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, no. To be honest, with the button downs are Oxford shirts, and the other ones are pullovers. Oh, and she's going crazy now.
She beat the hell out of him every day.
She did. And so I remember being like, my mom's like, "All right, we're gonna put a brick in your bag." No.
Could you imagine if you just whipped that out?
She didn't want me to show her the brick. She just swing the bag. Just swing the bag at her to get away. She'll lose a tooth or two. It's fine. It's just swing.
They grow back.
They grow back. You're fine. And those. I got beat up by a lot of girls. Because I wouldn't fight back. Mm-hmm. And then when the guys used to beat me up, so that's one thing about girls. Guys beat you up, and then once they if you don't really act like you care, it's like no fun. Girls, they can do that till they die. Just like women when they fight, they see blood, that means nothing. guys can beat the hell out of each other. Oh, you got a little blood on you? You lost. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got blood. I lost. Yeah, you won. Like, it's fine. Women, oh, you got blood? Yeah, I got blood? It's not good enough. I want to see internal organs. I want to see.
Somebody needs to break us up. I'm not.
Someone needs to be blinded. Somebody needs to have a chunk out, And so, yeah. So I remember my dad, and of course, my poor dad had to take us to the freshman because I wasn't old enough to drive. Yeah. And I remember him being like, "Oh, you're going to have fun tonight." And when she flicked the cigarette, I was like, "Oh, no." I was like, "Okay.
I'm going to get arrested." It happens to the best of us.
No, because I never did it, so you're not going to get arrested.
All right. Get to our topic.
All right, so go ahead. Sorry, I went on a tangent. Sorry.
A defense lawyer was delivering her closest statement to the jury. In her final sentence, she said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I urge you to find my client guilty." There was a moment of silence, and then she says, "Not guilty. I mean, not guilty." Could you imagine?
Yeah, no, actually, I actually have a story about this. I had to go to court with my ex a while back ago. And so at one point we changed the prices. You know how like everything goes, you change the prices, but things got lowered at one time. And so when the court says, "Oh, you owe this much money left," right? It ended up being like, what was it, like $10,000. I was passed out. I was like, "What?" I thought it was like 1,000 or 2. Like, What are you talking about? Like, and they were like, "Wait a minute." And then we had to they never readjusted when we readjusted. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, they kept calculating from where you were.
Right. And it's so crazy where you, in my head, you think, how do things happen? Like, when we came up with the first the agreement for everything to go down, why didn't the state, why was the state not part of that? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh no, we had no clue." How do you have no clue? We made this agreement. What was it? I don't even know how long ago. I mean, we're talking about a good 10, 15, 15 years, something like that.
And you did it through the court.
We did it through the court, and they have to, right. We did it through the court. And I actually had, when I went home, I actually found the paperwork, but they had no clue it was even done. And so when they whipped out, I was like, "What the, you should." Shannon said my family. It died. It just disintegrated. Remember when what's his name snapped? Thanos. That's what happened to my wallet. It was like, this one said I turned really white. She said that. I was like, I don't have that much money.
Right. Ever. I would never have that much money.
I was like, what the?
I don't think I never made that much money.
That's why I kind of just think to myself, when people in court and stuff, how much they don't, there's such a bigger picture. And the other thing is too, TV totally tricks you, because they totally think your lawyer is going to do everything for you. Mm-hmm. And actually, when you're in that spot, you have to do a lot for yourself. Even to a point where you have to actually photocopy shit and go and get your own things. And you just think, oh, they're going to do, what do they do when they get all your paperwork? When they, for your bank statements and stuff, they do a court order, and then they get your paperwork and stuff. And so you think, oh, they have all your bank accounts. No, you can't do that. They do that. They give you the permission to do it. And then you have to get all the prints out to give to your lawyers. So a lot of times when you watch Law and Order or any of those type of shows and you're thinking, wow, these guys work really hard, they really aren't working quite as hard as, I'm not saying they don't work hard, but not quite as hard, because you have to come up with all the proof and then they go through it to figure it out. But you got to bring everything to them. They don't go digging for it. Unless I think the only problem is if you're murdered, because then there's no one there to do it for you. They have to do it. So if you need to go to court, make sure you die, because then your lawyer will do everything.
I'd rather die than go to court.
If you're dead, I don't think you have to worry about any of it anyway. No paperwork needed.
She's dead.
No, but it's weird like that, because I really, when I've gone to court twice, well, no more than twice, but I went to court for something else too, and I was convinced oh, this is going to be Law and Order. He's going to prove that I'm innocent because this didn't happen. And he's like, oh, you need to go to Kinko's. You need to blow up. You need the map. I'm like, wait a minute, what now?
Why do you need to blow up?
Because I had to, blow up this map. I actually had to come up with the thing. She's my eyewitness.
She is my lawyer.
Why is she nude? Oh, wrong one.
Cover up, come on. I told you. She's always shocked.
What's wrong with your lawyer? She's really shocked. I think she's full too.
Let me fill it. Let me close her mouth.
Okay, let's go.
What were you going to say? You need to blow up? What was the blow up
for the map. I had to blow up the map. I had to come up with other stuff because I was accused of eluding a police officer. Ready for this? I was going 25. Oh no! I told the guy, I was like,
in a 26?
I literally told the guy, no, in a 10. Oh. And I literally was like, can you say I was going like 50 or 60? They're like, what? And I'm like, because this paper, because they put your name in the paper. I'm like, sounds like who eludes anyone going 25? See this guy, you can't get me.
I'm like, please. Fucking try.
I was literally 18. I was 18. I was like, when the guy...
Did you win?
No, I lost. I was like, I looked at the judge. I was going, I'm going 25. He's like, yeah, but when I asked you what did you do at the stop sign? You said you looked both ways, and then the guy said, well, how will you do it? I said, yeah, I looked both ways, like because I didn't know what to say, so I was like, so I kind of said it sarcastically, like I looked both ways, like after I had already said it. And he says, I didn't feel that was legit. I was like, I was going to anything. I was going 25 to a stop sign. Like even then, I'd be like, oh, I wonder if this guy's gonna catch me. You had to throw out the chain, so.
It's the lasso.
No, the chains on the road to blow the tires because he couldn't stop me. He's like, this wild guy, I gotta whip out the chains.
How many back up?
He literally went 30 someplace else to get the jet out. He's like, I'm gonna put this baby in top gear. He's all telling his partner, hang on, we're going 30.
We need a chopper.
I was so mad. And of course I had a cigar on me. And he goes, what's this? I was like, it's a cigar. And he's like, what kind of cigar? I was like, an Ashton. And I had like 3 of them, but in the car. But I had one on me. No, he literally broke them. All of them. I'm like, those are almost like $30 cigars. And he's like, too bad. And he was such a jerk to me. He was such a jerk. And he showed up. And he was like, oh, this guy was and that, you know what it was? He was driving the opposite way on East Main Road. And he did this. And I was supposed to know he meant pull over, going the opposite way. And the guy says, well, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, so if you see a cop go like this, and now I have an uncle that was a police officer, so I thought it was him waved, so I waved to the guy. I waved.
Oh, yeah, because like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? And
there's no universal sign for that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
I didn't see that.
We've lost some logic because somehow I was told, like, yeah, that makes sense. He waved to you. I was like, he's going the opposite direction.
That's what his lights are for.
No, then he turned around in the middle of the road with his lights, and I don't know how he caught me. I was going 25. I mean, clearly, I should have been like the next state over.
Right.
She did such a great job.
I was. My mom.
You didn't take the right. Come on.
My mom will write. Well, my mom will say this because she's on right now. Is that literally? My mom's like, "Are you really?" I was like, "Can you say I'm going 50? Could you just act like you shoot at me and you like my tire blew out?"
Right. You know why they caught you? Because you kept trying to turn left to go right.
Oh no! Did I tell you about that?
No.
We're at dinner and I forgot. Shannon said something to me, and she sits down, and I said. Instead of saying 2 wrongs don't make a right, I said, 2 left turns never make a right. And he goes, yeah, and her son goes, yeah, if you keep turning left, you can turn right. And I like literally stopped and went, what now? And he says, yeah, if you keep turning left, and he's doing this.
Yeah.
You can go right. I'm like. And then I said, can you explain this to me? And the second he went to explain, he goes, oh, yeah, I see. You really do have to turn right to turn right. I'm like, you're 16? Don't drive.
You're hurting my brain.
Because you literally remind me of a friend. You know what? The world is a circle, so no matter where I go, I eventually will get there. It's like, bro, you're going to be under some water if you keep going.
Travel by map.
No, but that's my... And I got arrested. And he didn't tell me because there was a new law at the time that they don't have to tell you you're arrested. So they don't have to read you your rights. They don't have to do nothing because George Clinton... not George. Bill, Clinton. I know. Bill Clinton landed up passing that law. So they used that on me. And so I actually got accused. So I'm like... So in the paper, when I had to be accused of being guilty, was like this, like 25 miles per hour, eluding a police... I think it was like... And there was a lot back then. It was like $500, and it had to be like I couldn't get in trouble for the next whatever, which I didn't. And it's
fuck, man,
because I was only like I was like 18. So
yeah.
You know, when you're back then, I don't even know if they do this anymore. But when you're at that age, they kind of give you like, if you're good for the next 5 years, it'll get sponged off your thing, you know. And and I was like, I was going 25. Is it? You know, when you keep arguing, like you're like you feel like you're the only one in the room that's hearing the logic, and the rest of the world is like, yeah, but
it was a 10.
Yeah, you're like, it was a 10, and you're going 25, and you missed the pullover sign, and
there's a new bill, so
and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do you not get that I was going 25? Like, if I was eluding the officer, shouldn't I have been going like 50 or 60 or 30 or 40 or something besides 25? Like, and I was so mad.
26 even, you know.
Guy's like, oh, this guy's a maniac. Put the nitros in. He's going 26.
Turbo speed.
Thank God he wasn't dog patrol. The dog would be like, ah! Pushed all the way in the back. The dogs are passing me. Oh, these are fast dogs.
No, they're only going 25. Come back. All right. 15 or so years ago, my dad was the manager of a small hotel. One of the semi-regular customers was this big Samoan dude who booked in for a day at a time. Always had a few visitors and always paid in cash. In a one-to-one conversation with American dollars, highly unusual in Australia. Dad always said that he was a great customer, very friendly with the staff, never gave anyone any problems, and always had a bit of a chat when he checked in. One day, a couple of detectives rocked up and asked to speak to my dad. They showed him a photo of the customer and asked if he was currently staying at the hotel. Dad confirmed that he was, and in the matter of minutes, a small contingent of cops arrived, stormed in the room, and escorted the guy away in handcuffs. Turns out the guy was a pretty major drug dealer and was wanted in a couple states. Cut to the court date quite some time later. My dad was in the witness stand, and for whatever reason, the defense is trying to make out that my dad didn't know the defendant and had never seen him before. Obviously, my dad insisted that he did, in fact, know the defendant, but that line persisted from the defense. As my dad left the witness box, he walked past the defendant and said, "Hi, Barry," to which Barry enthusiastically replied, "Hi, Jason, how are you?" While I'm sure it wasn't the only thing that counted against him in the case, it certainly couldn't have helped. He ended up going to jail.
I got confused here because it felt like in the beginning we were in Australia, and first we're in Samoan, which made me think Hawaiian, and then we're in Australia,
I don't know where we are.
Then somehow he's wanted in all these states. Like, I'm very confused where we are.
I don't know. That part doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You don't know this guy. Hey, Barry.
See, hey, I don't get that. Like, if someone's, this is what kills my brain. If someone comes to your business and is there every week, it's not like, well, this guy's clearly a druggie. Like, you're kind of like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, he doesn't have a house. So many things. Mm-hmm. So I don't, like, when they're talking about, like, well, I don't, you act like you don't know him. Like, how do I don't know him? He comes every week. Like, yeah, I'm not in his business. Right. Like, like, I know your mom and dad. I know your mom really good. I know your dad really good. But if your parents are doing something illegal, like, I don't know because I'm not part of it, but doesn't mean I don't know your parents. Right. Like, or vice versa. Right. Like, they'd be like, hey, did you know Niles? Yeah, I know Niles. Like, just like those people on those every single news show you ever seen. How long you been his neighbor? And there's always one tooth in his mouth or her mouth, and she's like, "Oh, for like 12 years." And like, did you know she was a mass murderer? What? She was so friendly. She gave me her beans one time during barbecue. Like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh my God, she killed 12 woodchucks. How do you not know?" And you're like,
she always made the best meatloaf.
Yeah, because it's like you want to sit there and for me, I literally want to go to a reporter and go, "They're actors. Like they're psychos privately, but they're psychos."
Right.
Like
you can't act like a psycho.
You can't be like, "Yeah, hey, guess what I did last night, Sally? Yeah, I raped and killed a guy." They'd be like, "You did? Wait, what? What did you do?" Right. Like you're gonna get caught. Right. So you got to be like, "What'd you do last night?" "Oh, some gardening." You know, like you got, right. and realistically, you probably buried the guy in your garden, like whatever. Right. Like nobody who is like logically smart enough is going to say,
"I killed a man."
Like I have 12 dead bodies downstairs. It's a hoot. You know? It's a hoot. Okay. Oh my gosh! One of them's starting to smell. I just keep doing Febreze. You know.
Like Lysol.
I think one has Corona. I'm not sure. Like no, like, who's gonna say that? Like no one's gonna say that. So like I always hate that. They're like, "Did you know?" Like that guy in Ohio that had all those women in that like abandoned house, and he was like raping them, and like you remember the Shannon those women in Ohio, and they asked him, "Did you know?" They're like, "The house is all boarded up." "No, we just thought it was a fake." Like, "Did you hear anything?" "No, it's an old house." Like,
right.
You know,
I'm in my own world.
Like I'm paying bills over here. Right. I got a kid. I got whatever. Like you know, like
they didn't hear anything over that.
They didn't hear anything, and it was like, "Oh well, did you know he was a killer?" Yeah, we did. We just were like, "Nah, it's none of our business." Right. Like nobody knows.
I ain't gonna be that guy.
I was drinking my tea, and I was like, "None of my business."
Good. Cue the bitch.
Here's a list. "Hey Joe, I heard you do something on the side. Here's a list."
I'm on the first one.
No. I don't do that type of stuff. This is sick stuff. I just keep them and rape them. I don't do whatever this is. There's like a pass out little card. It's like a business card. It's like passing out in the neighborhood. "Did you know?" And they're like, "No, I didn't." And they're trying to hide the card. "No, I didn't."
Burn this later.
Like who? Come on, that
right.
And it's always some guy who's itching to be on TV.
Right.
And I'm always like, why are you asking this one? They're always like 4 houses down because now the real neighbors, those real normal people, you know.
I wouldn't want to be part of that.
Yeah, like I picture okay, if your neighbor, any of your neighbors at your parents' house, and there's I do not see your parents going out. I'd be like, "Nope, I don't want to even like." They'd be like, "Gary, is that around?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's around my house." Like I just picture them like not. I just picture them like that's the last place they want to be is on TV because then you know you get
another part of it,
right? And but there's always that one person like 4 houses down. They're like, "Hey, wait, I like to do that interview. I only got 2 teeth. The other one's in my pocket. Let's go."
Do I get compensated for this?
When I bite into bread, it spells Jesus. Come over here. Look at that. Look, it spells Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my other tooth. That makes a big difference.
Oh, it finishes the S. I'd be like, come on. It annoys me because every time they talk to someone, it's always, "I didn't know." Of course you didn't know. Like it's just like when they ask teams, "So how does it feel losing?" And you're like, "Why would you ask that?" Because I want someone to be like, "It's great. It's I actually told my team when we get to the finals, let's lose."
Yeah.
Everyone got a bonus.
Too much pressure.
We were gonna, we got next year.
We got it.
They really did a good job, so we just felt like, it's like stupid questions. I hate them.
They've never won a game,
Yeah.
Just let them go.
I can't. Because that's why I always like every single time. "Oh, he's such a nice man." Oh, what was that other one? Ted Bundy, right? "Oh, I didn't know he was such a nice neighbor." Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah. They're all nice guys. That's how they lure you in.
Right.
You know, they don't lure you in when you're a creepy guy and you got like 5 pieces of hair on your head, 1 tooth, and 1 crazy eye, no one gets in your car. You look like Brad Pitt, everyone gets in your car. Think about it. It'd be like, oh, this guy looks
Brad
normal.
Pitt gets in your car.
Or, oh, well, they seem like a nice couple. Yeah, that's usually how it is.
Right.
Yeah, because the psychos, as soon as you pull up and it's like, you're like, nope, not getting in that car.
Right. All right. My father...
She's like, nope, I would have gotten in that car.
Yeah. My father's an attorney, and he always had a story for us when we'd ask him for a question. Wait?
It's weed. Yeah, they spent weed wrong.
Weed. When
weed. I know it's not. Those are the good ones.
Hold it in.
I feel the burn.
Some dude was allegedly smashing a wall with a sledgehammer with others in order to break into a private property. Cops rolled up, and he's the only one that got caught. Fast forward a few months, and this guy is in court. Apparently, a cop says something about how the defendant was the only one caught, but there were 2 other men who fled on foot and couldn't be apprehended. My father's client's face lights up in aha moment and immediately tells the judge, "Not true, there were 4 of us." I guess he thought that if he could disprove someone that he said he let... Oh my god. Someone that...
Don't hurt yourself. Wow. If he could disprove someone that it's not spelled
right.
That they said let him go. Wow, it's not even spelled.
He'd be let go. Safe to say he was found guilty of vandalism. My father says the judge
sighed.
Okay. And told my father it would be a good idea to keep his client quiet.
So that's that classic moment where you feel like you can beat the system.
Right. And it just backfires.
Which would be going back to me going left and right. Like, look, what did you do? I turned my head left and right. Like,
I was going 25 and a 10.
Because, by the way, I had to stop at a stop sign. And
yeah, you said that.
But I stopped doing the stop sign as me eluding him. I didn't drive through it. Because when they asked what I did, they said I stopped, and everyone agreed I stopped at the stop sign.
I would have think that going through the stop sign.
If I'm eluding someone, I'm stopping with all the red light.
Right.
So that's the same theory. That's the same theory.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to say there was 4 of us and not 3 of us. I got you. And it's like, well, no, you still see. He's still.
Right, you're still guilty.
You're still saying you were part of the 4. So, you idiot. Like, you should have been like, no, I just walked. And here's my next question: how did you get caught? If 3 other people still ran away, how did you get caught? That's a guy who's like, one more hit. Ah!
Fucked up the ass. Come on.
No, because he's sledgehammer. He was more like, God, imagine that. One more pound. One more. My turn. It's your turn. Everyone's like running. And he's like, wait, I didn't get my turn.
I didn't get my turn.
I got like 2 hits in. What the?
Bitches.
Son of a bitch.
I represent school districts. One of my clients has a farm that is used to agriculture. I was doing so good.
I know.
And now I'm like hyper focused on me not being able to read.
No, because the last one there was a lot of spelling problems. Yeah. So it wasn't you. It wasn't. So I'm gonna.
This one because no problem.
It's WEDHED. Like I was like, I don't even know those words.
Right. Head.
Like for the. Well, I know that word.
My favorite word. Okay. The manager of the farm decides to brutally euthanize a ton of chickens in full view of a group of elementary school students.
Oh no, that's not good. No.
Sometimes farms have to euthanize chickens. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that he was whacking the chickens over the head with a hammer. And then he had to whack each chicken like 5 to 6 times before they died.
What's this, whack-a-mole?
No, whack a chicken. Whack a cow.
I knew that was coming. No wonder it was 5 or 6 times. Does he know? Does he not know how much eggs are nowadays?
Right? This is back then. The poor chickens were not dying. That didn't deter him. If one refused to die, he just tossed the chicken on the ground and try again with another one. But the birds were all getting gore. Sorry.
This is, you know what the problem is? This reminds me of that movie when Jim Carrey goes to shoot the cow to euthanize it, and it doesn't shoot. She has to unload like the whole gun on it, and it's still going moo. And he's like, die.
I don't think I've seen that one. Which one was that
one? That's in. I believe that's in Me, Myself, and Irene.
I've never seen that.
That's when he is there's 2 of them. I forgot what. Like, there's 2 of them in him. Like, he's broken. So there's like 2 personalities in him. That's a really good movie. That's one of the last like Farley brothers that are like, oh my! And it's a Rhode Island movie. And he's a Rhode Island.
Around the time of like the other ones, Dumb and Dumber and stuff like that.
A little late. No, it's a later. It's right near the end of it, and it's a classic. There's a lot of moments in there. You go,
yeah, I've never seen it.
Wow! There's some good moments. He's just being inappropriate. I'm going, wow. It's a good one.
All right. But the birds were getting horrifically damaged, so they were flapping in circles on the ground or walking with terrible stuttering limps or screaming. One of the kids recorded it, and Jesus Christ, it was awful to watch. Yeah. So I recommended the school district fire him immediately because holy hell.
Wait, whoa.
He sued for gender discrimination.
Wait a minute. Here's the question. He got fired from the school?
Yeah, because the farm was part of a school thing.
Oh, it's part of a school
tech
thing.
Art
tech.
Agricultural science.
Yeah.
I'm
like, that's not the word coming out of my mouth.
Oh wow, yeah. So I just can't see that being like first of all, if I had to put down,
how old are the kids?
Elementary, so just say 4th grade and younger. So just for the sake of argument,
Yeah.
I
wouldn't want to kill any of them in front of the kids, anyways.
Right. Like I have to say, I don't know. There's definitely a something going on. I don't know if he should have been fired because the case is that they do that, but I think the hammer trick didn't go as smoothly. No. Like, what did he think? I mean, like, I don't know. I just think there's so many things from it was a domino. Right. So many things went wrong in that.
Would you prefer them, poison their food and?
Well, yeah, I get that.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do it, don't do it while the kids are there.
Yeah, I think that's a big trick is that the kids are there. I think even if it was
do it in
college,
a spot where they weren't gonna see it.
Yeah,
you had to do it right there.
I don't know. Like, here we go. Like, I would have walked out, looked around, and been like, I need to do this. Like, like I go to the principal or whatever they have, because everybody has a different type of.
Unless the kids are in school 24 hours, do it when they get out of school.
Yeah, or I'd be like, hey, I need to do this. We all need to do this. So the older kids need to come, and they need to when I say older kids, like maybe high school, like the high school kids or the kids who are wanting to do this, they have to understand it, and be like, listen, this has to be in a class, but elementary shouldn't even be there for that. So that should be like, hey, there's an elementary class coming. We all need to pay attention.
Right.
That we're not, screwing the pooch on this one.
Later.
Yeah. I know, but Jesus, I don't know.
I don't know how many kids are won't eat chicken after that.
I had a really funny friend, I guess you'd call her. We rode together. We are friends, but I wouldn't say best of friends. But she went to one of those places that you could see the cows while you eat dinner type of thing. And it freaked her out when she realized that the cows were what she ate. So she became a vegetarian. And I remember her I think we were in our teens, and she still was a vegetarian. So I assume she still is to this day.
Yeah.
I don't talk to her like that anymore. But but that's when she was little. It happened when she was little, and she never touched meat after that.
I don't blame her. I don't know how like farms could be like, good old Bessie over here. We're gonna have you for dinner.
Well, I watched a thing on it. It's actually quite interesting. They actually don't really.
Oh, see, I have like an instant connection to anything.
They don't have like they don't like they know. I'm like, oh, this one's a troublemaker. Like this one's a this, but it's not like they don't have like this is. I mean, they're not that close to them, and it becomes.
I guess you can't really if that's going to be the kind of farm.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is there's the ones I watched. There's one that they had like 4 like feeding things, like they're like basically cement with like a cover on them, like, and then they kind of like getting into feeding like stalls, and they had 4 of them, and they all fit like 150 or something like that. So you're like, you got 4 of those, like you have so many, you're not getting close because you have so many. Right. It's not like you have 2.
Yeah.
But I got close to my very first barn I ever rode at, so I was around 7. The old man that I talk about, the old man who gave me, oh, where's it hurt? And I say, oh, here. And he goes, long way from the heart, suck it up, get on. Like all those things that I talk about. Like he bought a baby cow, and his name was Joey. And I remember we used to feed him out of the bottle. Like it was, and he grew up, and he grew up into he wasn't grown up into a full cow, but he got very, very big. Yeah. And then one day he was gone, and he said, yeah, I sold him for veal. And I went, what? You know what? And I didn't know what it was for the longest time because I wasn't old enough and I didn't eat it. And I was like, no, they ate them. And I was like, oh, poor Joey. Guess not much I can do now.
I can't like I feel the same anymore.
No, I was like, oh, not much I can do for him now. Like that was my attitude. Like I would have fought a little bit more. Like, oh, don't get rid of him. Now I'm like, well, not much I can do now. Right. He's like, yeah, someone offered me good money for him. So I was like,
every time we talk to Joey, does a little PC break.
A little bit. I'm like,
Joey.
Why now? You know why I look at him that way.
I'm just like,
Sam's like, you moving on, my man?
Go for it. It's like you can have him.
No, that's utterly ridiculous.
Delightful.
Ridiculous. I'm gonna say it was utterly.
I was sitting in court waiting for my turn.
She wrote no. I don't know what the no was for. She wrote no. My mom wrote no. We don't know.
Probably about Joey.
It's probably about Joe. She's like, no, that's not what it was. He just said that. Because literally, I felt like those guys always busted my chops. He probably went somewhere else. They were like, oh no, Joey did this or that. But like, oh, I thought he was veal.
Joey's over there.
No, yeah.
With you the whole time.
Oh. I swear to God, I was in a world that every single older man in my life that were like kind of like role models to my dad, to Mr. Smith, to Freddie, to just would bust on me. They would say stuff and I would believe it. And I was so gullible. I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. And then I'd be like, okay. And they'd be like, then I would say it again. They're like, no, Niles, it was like, oh, I thought you were
Joey.
It was Joey. It was Joey. Yeah. I know it was Joey. I remember him, black and white little thing, and
cows usually are.
Oh, there are brown ones.
I know.
It was black and white.
When you think of a cow, what color do you think?
And one time,
black and white.
It's white, black spots.
No,
mood.
He was black with white spots. I remember one time, I panicked because he was real little. And I went to go, like, you know how you kind of put your hand to kind of like go pet him, and he grabbed onto my fingers and started sucking him, but he was still a baby. Yeah. And I freaked out. Like, I was like, oh my God! But he didn't know better.
Yeah. And
he got scared, and I got scared. Because I'm about 6, 7, 8. I have to be around that age.
So you're like 2 feet tall.
I'm even smaller. Like,
he actually ate Joey at the barn picnic. Oh! I bought him a collar and a belt.
So we ate him. We didn't even sell them. See, I didn't even know. So he was long gone. Yeah, we all ate them. What? That's. Well, I didn't even know that. There you go. I'm 47. This happened when I was 7, so almost 40 years ago. Here I am eating them, going. Oh, he's been passed a long time ago.
He's actually your ulcer.
He's my ulcer. Yeah, it's Joey going. Never that, brother.
Suckling on him inside.
Oh, we did put our timer up. I don't know where we're at.
Well, it's 7:50. So.
Okay, all
right. I was sitting in court waiting for my turn. Case going was a littering case. Officer said he saw the defendant throw the clear wrapper of a pack of gum out of his window. Guy decided to defend himself. Girlfriend takes the stand. Officer has already testified. Guy asks, "Did I throw a gum wrapper out the window?" She replies, "No, you did not." With this huge grin on her face, the defendant is now also grinning and goes, "What did I throw out the window?" To which she replies, "It was a plastic wrapper from your cigarettes."
All right.
Guy rests his case right there. Literally thought he would get off because the officer didn't properly identify the clear plastic being throwing out the window.
That's one of those where you just go, that's not, you know what? That's right then when he still got fined and got in trouble for that is when he says, "You can't go right." Like it had to take him that long to understand all those lefts. Right. There's no right. Oh, I'm so distraught about Joey over here. I just found out a girl that was at a horse show that used to come visit me all the time and ride and stuff. She was about 15 to 10 years younger than I am, something like that. Passed away 4 years ago, and now I just found out about Joey. I'm not having a good week. I am not having a good week. I literally ate Joey.
Hey, good for you.
He didn't even buy me dinner. Well, he was dinner, so guess you can't get any easier than that.
I am the dinner. Kicks you.
This is so wrong. I have a picture of this cute little cow in my head. You're just trashing it. I was 7, damn it. I was 7. I was innocent.
This is 40 years ago.
Like 40 years ago. I have enough guilt now I got double guilt. Like I didn't know she passed on. That really bothered me. That was 4 years I didn't even know she passed on. Because we not lost touch, but you become Facebook friends when you just kind of 33, too young. And then I found out about Joey. Can't.
Good job, Georgette. Way to bring it up.
She's like, "Oh, Joey." She's like, "Oh, hold on, Bob."
My brother was on jury back in the days of MySpace. A woman had been hit by a
Just go ahead. Say what you're going to say, because I know I want you to read this. Okay, my brother was on jury duty back in the day of MySpace. A woman was hit by a long, big rig. Wow. Doing foggy weather.
Big rig.
What?
What is that?
A truck, like an 18 trailer, 18 wheeler.
That's what I thought, but I want to picture it.
Oh, you're picturing it.
Oh yeah.
You got the big. You're like long.
She was suing for back injury. The last day of trial, they asked her if she has a MySpace account and brought up her site to the jury to see. I think all profiles were open then. There's a picture of her dancing on the hood of a car, and right next to it is a text exchange of her saying that she shouldn't go out too much because her lawyer
says
that she
had to look like injured.
Needless to say, she lost the case.
Yeah, that's like that guy who. We've seen this on Channel 10, Channel 12, where they've got injured on the job, and then they're off like the state pays them for the next 20 years, but literally they've been like working and running marathons, and like, and then when you see them, they have the neck brace on, and like they're rolling in a wheelchair, and they're like, I can't walk, I can't, and you're like, and then like the second they leave,
my race yesterday.
Yeah,
a short one. The judge.
Hey, what are you trying to say about me?
Tuna tip. The judge recused himself of a criminal case, publicly saying that he knew the defendant and he was a son of a bitch and guilty as hell.
There you go. I love those. Those,
the short ones.
No, I just know like when they're like, I can't do this one because I already know him, and I'm going to just say he's guilty no matter
what. Traffic court. Charges read to the defendant. You were speeding and ran through a stop sign.
Oh, there's a going 25! And then because that guy ran through it. I stopped at mine. I was eluding a police officer, but still stopped at all the commands. We were at a light for 20 minutes. He still didn't catch me.
He was at the one behind it.
That should be in a movie. That needs to be in a movie.
I can see Jim Carrey doing that.
Like driving, be like stopping at the stop sign, looking back, and like, oh, you get a red light, yes.
Yellow. Defendant. I have no excuse, Judge. I was distracted by the unruly kid in the car. It was not paying attention. I totally did everything I'm accused of doing. Judge. Well, that's refreshing. You must be the first person in a long time who hasn't tried to feed me some story about why they are not guilty. For your refreshing honesty, charges dismissed. The entire gallery starts clapping. Next defendant charges are read. Defendant number 2. Yes, Judge, I did everything. Judge, nice try, but I already gave away my freebie for the day. That'd be you. This would totally happen to you.
Actually, that did happen to me.
For the stop sign?
No. Do you know do you know where Walgreens is? Where in Middletown?
Yeah.
But you're going I guess by right now is like Jersey Mike's and stuff, that turn.
Yeah.
I turned and I don't know if it was, but you're supposed to yield there years ago. I don't know if it's still a yield. I haven't been there in a while. I don't go down there, but it used to be a yield, then you go. And Marin was screaming so bad that we just wanted to get home to see what was wrong, because we had just gone to Walmart. She was fine. But like from Walmart.
How old was she?
Baby. Like I would say no more than a year old.
Okay.
And she is screaming. I mean, bloody blue murder. And Jaylee's just like, get home. Just get home. Because we knew if we pulled over and tried to,
it's not,
it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I know in all of everyone's heads, I know there's those super parents like, well, just open up the trunk and just do that. Well, we're just trying to get home because whatever was wrong with her, we were going to take care of. So if it was a dirty diaper, if it was a, whatever, if she was grumpy, then, but I was like, get home. And I didn't yield. Like, because there was no car, and the police officer saw I didn't yield, but there was no car. But he still, like, I didn't slow down enough. And when I pulled me over, Marin is screaming. And he said, I gotta listen, this baby started screaming. I'm just trying to get home. I'm just trying to find out what's wrong with her. There was no car coming. I apologize. I didn't slow down. He goes, no, just get home. Just take your time. And he actually followed me for a while to make sure, I guess I wasn't going through red light. Yeah. But I wasn't trying to. It was just, I mean, when I say this kid was screaming, I mean, this kid was screaming. And we know nothing was wrong with her because she was in the car seat. She was fine. And when she got home, nothing was wrong. Right? She just
didn't want to be in the car.
She just got in that, I don't want to be here anymore and I'm done. And and we tried to pacify, spit out, throw it out, like one of those, I'm having a fit. And it was just like, and then you start getting like, is she having a fit? Or did she go, or, did she, go to the bathroom? Is, because you never know, because that all stuff can now happen kind of really fast with babies. And I remember just being like,
and they can't tell you what they need.
Yeah. And so I remember the cop would actually, as soon as I lowered the whip, he would just look at me and I was like, and that guy must have had a baby too, because he was just like, okay.
Get it.
Like,
or maybe he just didn't want to stay there.
I understand. Just get the baby home.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, we're just trying to get home. she just started crying out of nowhere, and I was just trying to,
Haley's back there smacking her. Sorry, that was wrong.
It was right. No. And of course, and Jaylee didn't have, we were new parents, and she wouldn't have always patient with that moment. Yeah. But she was like, come on, man, come on. And I remember her trying to put the pacifier in right out. And I remember just screaming like a banshee. And the cop was so nice. The cop was like, yeah, but he followed us. And I was just like, listen, I'll get home. I'm paying attention. I just didn't slow down enough for his sake. And he wanted to know what my hurry was. Yeah. We know. Okay. He's like, close.
You're good. You're good.
I'm sorry I stopped you. Yeah.
A friend of mine went to the courts on a legal studies excursion. There was a case where a man, I think was a divorce case, started ranting in the courtroom, yelling, "This is bullshit, Your Honor." Like, he was so pissed off, but it still referred to the judge as Your Honor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always have mixed emotions because I always think when you watch, if you watch like courtroom stuff, you ever notice like it's the story, but they don't tell the whole story. They just tell like the facts, right? They only say the whole facts, and then sometimes they're like, "Oh, so did you kill him?" You're like, "Yes," and you're like, "But he was trying to kill me." No, that's not what we want. No. Right. Did you kill him? You're like, "Yeah, but he was trying to kill me." No. Say it again. Yes, I killed him. But
he was trying to kill me, so I killed him.
Like, yeah, but you think to your head, like in your head, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go up there and say this. And then when they go up with all the lawyer stuff, you're amazed how many things you can't say. Right. And then your lawyer can say later on, now, did you defend yourself? Then you can, but you have to kind of play this game that we're all not used to. Because usually when you tell a story to someone, you're like, so this guy came out of nowhere. I was sitting in my bed, just sleeping. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, I hear bang, bang, bang. All of a sudden I come out, and all of a sudden I feel a thing on my head, and I just shoot, and that's a story. Yeah. So now you judge, well, that makes sense. I would have shot him too. Like, you're in your house, you're sleeping. Like, you're in pajamas, you don't even know. Yeah. But when you go into court, it's you can't tell the story like that. It's so I can understand why someone like gets super pissed.
Well, the divorce case too.
The divorce case. Luckily, she was like, "Oh, that's not right." I was like, "Thank you," because I didn't want to fight you with you right now. Right. I was like, because I was waiting for her to be like, "No, that sounds about right."
More honor. I watched a self-represent person call another attorney in my firm an asshole during his opening statement, and when the judge called him on it, he replied, "Now you listen to me, Rebecca." Legal pro tip: 2 quick ways to be found in contempt. 1, tell the judge, "You listen to me," or "Now you listen here," in threatening tone, and or calling the judge by their first name.
Yeah, like that's like, I don't understand people who, like, when an officer pulls you over, what is he? He's sir and officer. Right. Like, that's like, I've learned respect. Actually, do you know a car broke down in front of my house? A state trooper pulled up behind the car, because of the highway. We were all talking because it was like literally in front of my driveway. So he was like, "Oh, we're going to, because it doesn't happen that fast. Like, the tow truck and everything doesn't." And he's like, and he's like, "Oh," and I was just out there talking to him. I'm like, "No, it's okay. It's fine. I understand. They broke down, blah, blah, blah." And he's talking to me, and it had one of those, what are they called? Like the type of tow trucks. They're flatbed beds. Yeah. So the car is going up while it's like this, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going up, and he's standing on the road, and I'm standing on the side of the road. And if you know how East Main Road, it's all grass. Yeah. Right. And all of a sudden the chain snaps on the car, and I grab this officer by his chest / uniform and pull him, because there's a step, it's like a step. So I pulled him up there. And I said, "Oh my God, I touched you." Because like right away it was like, I touched an officer because I
can't do it.
Right, and I was like, oh,
they think it's assault.
And it hits his car. Like the car hits his car, but it has like one of those big grills on it, so it messes up the other guy's car more than his car, right? And he's like, now I gotta put a form out on this, and I said, and right away I was like, I am so sorry. He's like, you just saved me. Like you just saved me. And I was like, I didn't mean to touch you. I hope you. And I almost wanted to cry because I got so
nervous. I
guess the word anxiety. For me, it's that what you're not supposed to do.
Right.
You don't touch.
Am I going to jail?
I wasn't.
I'll cuff myself.
I really got like because I was like, oh my god! But it was an instinct.
Jail, it's fine.
It was so instinct of just grabbing the guy. And I mean, I grabbed full.
Yeah.
And I pulled him because he was literally would
have
been hit by the car. And he says, "No, you did something good. Relax." And I was like, "Where's the bag? I need him."
Body bag killing.
I did. I got really upset. Yeah. Like instantly, like because at first it was like, yeah, I would have done that for anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I just put my hands on a state trooper.
Yeah.
Like a local cop. Maybe I've been like a little more like, hey, I did you like.
Yeah.
But but a statey, like those guys, they don't. They usually don't. Like they don't even talk. Those guys, they're pretty. They're the or at least around here years ago, they used to be the badass. They're not that they're mean people. Just they kind of keep quiet. And he was actually annoyed because now he had to fill out an accident form because now the state had to pay for, or he had to go after. I don't remember what it was. They were like, "This is going to be a big issue because, it's the tow company's fault because something released on the thing."
Yeah.
And then the car went flying down. Because remember, it's going, and it was almost like, it was, he was just about to go like this. And he must have hit something wrong. And it just went, boom. And it came down fast. And I just grabbed him and I pulled him right out. But I'll tell you, saying like this, like that would never, ever. I'd be like, excuse
you listen
me?
Here, Rebecca.
Yeah, never.
You listen here, Joey.
Yeah.
Calm down. Sorry.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be like, Liz, Joey is.
I've been sending you moves every once in a while. Just a cow emoji.
Yeah, keep it up. Aren't you glad you came, Shannon? Now you know that my childhood pet was fed to me.
All right, last one. So we were a big group on trial, like 12 of us, everyone with at least a lawyer present. Then you had the police, the families, the reporters, and curious people, a full courthouse. One of us was out of his mind on drugs and didn't really know what was going on, wasn't paying attention to what was being discussed. The judge asked his lawyer about the guy's character, the usual stuff. He was young, a good kid, has his whole life in front of him. Don't give him time because it'll ruin his life, so on. The judge asked my guy, Master X.
Mr.
X.
Not Master.
I was going to say that's what he is, right?
I'm excited.
Control your tuna.
Titanic.
Go great. Do you agree or have anything to add to what your lawyer said? Guy jumping in front from his chair, very disoriented. Fuck this shit, I'm not saying nothing to you. Everybody roared with laughter while his lawyer tried to calm him down and tell him what it was about. Same guy, after maybe an hour, when some boring legal stuff was discussed, stuff like Article 22, Paragraph 2, etc. Between lawyers, prosecutors, and the judge, jumps out of the chair again and yells, "I ain't going to jail for nobody." Again, laughter, and he was kicked out of the court.
Yeah, well, that's so hard because he's so zooped up, which like he's out of his mind. So you're not even making right decisions. Like I don't even know how you're there. Like that would be one of those moments where you're like you're there and you'd be like, all right, he needs to leave.
I'd be like shit. Well, I guess
when they like contain you when you're drunk and they're like you got to be sober before we do anything. They should have made sure he was sober before, because that's. I've been. Obviously, not all my drinking, but I have a lot.
A lot, huh?
No, my drinking stories. I can't even imagine being in court. I can't imagine sitting there in court and being someone saying, "So you're going 25?" I would be laughing though. I'd be like, Dude, 25? Get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna stay here with that shit. Because, like, in my head, then I was logically about to explode. I can't even imagine what I'd be if I was drunk in that situation and trying to talk to a judge going, are you really buying this? That I was going 25 and I stopped at a stop sign and everything sounds right to you?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, logically, still to this day, I say it out loud. They were
down money. You gotta...
Sometimes I think that's what ends up happening. They have this quota and they feel like they need to get the quota. And then if you fall in the wrong time, you're screwed no matter what. And it's just like, you just pay it off and just be quiet and hopefully you don't get in trouble again. But I can't imagine being drunk. I can't imagine even being high on anything going through all that.
Yeah.
Because I probably would be like, sorry, I'm boring you.
I
got a full tummy from Joey, huh?
No, I didn't eat Joey. You ate Joey. I'd be shitting myself the whole time.
I was when I went. But I did. I was so nervous. Yeah. But then it was like, why am I nervous? I'm 100%
not guilty.
Not guilty. Yeah. And the more confidence I got, the worse it got for me. It was like they thought I was being cocky, I guess. Right. And it was just like, no, I stopped at a stop sign. I was going 25. Like, who? That's not eluding. That was the big thing. I was eluding him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the fact that I was saying that I wasn't speeding, because that's what he pulled me over for. It was the fact that I was eluding him at 25. So you don't want to be in a car with me because I have very high-speed chases.
Yeah.
I even wrote, I'm like, can you say you shot at my tires? I did. I was like, can you write that I got shot at my tires? I was like, anything. I'd be like,
anything more.
Because I just could picture Pat. I know, because because I was 18.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Like, I just wanted to be like, dude, did I shut out your tires? You're going like $1.50 down the side road? Like, right. That's what I wanted. Not.
Thank God you stopped at the stop sign.
I know. Like, I wanted.
You should have read it at that rate.
I felt like someone would read there and go, wow, this is dumb shit. He's eluding him, going 25, like, and it stopped. Like,
yeah.
No wonder you got caught. What a stupid idiot. Like, That's what I felt like people were going to read. And I didn't want that. Like, I'd rather have been this cold criminal.
The stop signer.
Yeah. I didn't even see it. I just drove by. I was going so fast. He was going so fast, he traveled back in time. It was just 12 flights. I was like, God, I remember being so mad. And my mom's like, are you serious? My mom being like, why are you being an asshole? But I was like, do you know what it looks like in the paper, though? I look like an idiot. Yeah, but at least
got in the way, too.
If it wasn't for you and your meddling kids and that stupid dog running next to the car.
Running past the car.
Oh,
all right.
All right, that's it for us.
Right, bye. That's it for us.
She's like, bye.
Yes.
You will see us next Thursday on the Goofy Geek After Dark.
Yes.
And on Tuesdays on YouTube.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Hit any bell you want. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.